Shalom, Yashrala. This is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation to much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article as, we're getting closer and closer to that, the hour of temptation, that great temptation that's about to come upon the whole earth. All right, you still have a controversy out there. I don't, well, the scriptures say, if our gospel be hid, it's hid to those that are lost, and the wicked's not going to understand. But, amongst, our people, and speaking as far as those that know about the truth, all right, those that know about the truth, there's still controversy over what this MOTB is, all right? And, hey, now, like the scriptures say, and Lord's will, we'll get to it, at the end it shall speak and not lie, all right? Right now, more than anything, is speaking, the path that we're going down, all right? So, hey, this is how they say a landslide election. You see, one candidate gets like, all the votes and the other candidate is still at one vote. You pretty much know where this is going. All right. So, hey, it's inevitable at this here point in time. So, hey, if you still are on that, the tip of, the MOTB is, anything other than this here, going into this here chip. All right. We see how these things are. Now, it's funny that when when the how do I say the pandemic was going around, and they was talking about this with different things as far as talking about our health and everything else like that, and how do I put it, health and I don't want to really say some of these words, but dealing with certain things, right? They were talking about how they were taking down or censoring our videos over these things. Now on this, it's talking about something financial. All right, so this is a completely different thing, but we see how all these things tie into one another. All right, so it says U.S. moots digital dollar. Now, again, you have to understand the Hegelian dialectic, which is a problem, reaction, solution. All right, so pressure from above, pressure from below. All right, so hey, they're moving you towards a certain end. All right, the end is already determined by them. All right, and the end is going to be what? That no man is going to be able to buy or sell save he that have this here mark. All right, now, and a lot of these different things, you got to look at it more than just, more than just buying and selling. All right, you got to look at it as more of an authentication token. All right, now think about this. Back a while back when we had certain things going on, they wasn't allowing you in a certain grocery stores unless you had certain things, you get what I'm saying. You had to have certain things attached to your, to your face, more or less to say. There's certain things we can't say nowadays because, hey, it is what it is. But, hey, certain stores wasn't allowing you coming inside their store unless you had certain things, like I said, attached to your face and everything else like that. No matter if you had the money to buy everything in the store, they're like, nah, bro, you don't have this. You got to get up out of there. You've seen the videos of all the people getting mad and getting thrown out the stores, all because they didn't want to wear the such and such, right? So, hey, the mask of Zorro, put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Or the Scooby-Doo mask, all right? And if you didn't walk up in the store with one of those, you wasn't buying shit, no matter if you had the money or if you didn't have the money, all right? And the same thing is going on with these here things. They have certain even certain places like that where you have to have like a certain membership just to get inside the store. And it doesn't matter if you have the money, if you don't have the money, man. All right. So, hey, you have to have certain requirements. Even in certain places, if you didn't have this here tequila shot, you wasn't getting up in there. You wasn't participating with certain things. So, hey, you have to think about this with that. Hey, for one, we could cut you off. You have to have, just like you go to certain places, let's just say an arcade, you can't just put certain quarters and dollars inside these machines. You got to, or car washes, you got to change these out for their native tokens, all right? Or, you can't go inside these here places unless you have this proper identification, all right? And we have to be able to check your real-time health and status before you can come up in here, man. So, hey, you see how all these things are leading towards the same thing, problem, reaction, solution. All right, what's the one way to fix all these different things? How do we know that, you're not bringing any, bacterias or viral infections inside of here? We need to know real time. How do we know that you didn't counterfeit this here money, didn't steal this here money, or if we have to sit there and give you direct money into your account because the economy is collapsing, we got to give you start giving you what they call UBI, Universal Basic Income. You seen what happened with the PPP loans and everything else like that? They had all these different scams and it was setting the U.S. back. So how about we just directly put it into your accounts? But we need to make sure it's real. How do we verify all these things? How do we sit here and watch carbon emissions and make sure that you don't buy up too much of this and too much of that, so that you don't go to the store and buy up pallets and pallets and pallets of toilet paper, man? All right, we need to have one thing to be able to fix all these here problems, and you see what it is, man. All right, it's exactly what first of all, John the Revelator wrote about. All right, but the minute starting with the apostles of Great Millstone on down, have been telling you what it is, man. All right, but let's get into this here article. It says Washington has suggested that the U.S. central bank cryptocurrency could be faster and more inclusive. All right. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has called for President Joe Biden's administration to consider creating a central bank cryptocurrency to start laying the technical groundwork for the so-called digital dollar right away. And which they've been, whenever they tell you about things like this, man, just already know that they've already had this. How do I say? It's already there, man. They already have these things already laid out and everything else like that. Just think about it. Well, if you know about the Bitcoin and the hash that it was made off of, the Department of Homeland Security is the only people that could have made that. So it's already been out there, man. It's already been tested and everything else like that. So hey, this isn't nothing new. They just had to get the people is what they call a predictive program, and they got to condition the people to start using these things, man. And think back to when people was getting that money off of Dogecoin, and there was another one, Shiba Inu and everything. People was making all this their money, and people was trying to jump into that. All right, so when these next things start coming around, what you think? And especially with this whole scamming and flipping era that we living in right now, where everybody's a scammer or a booster or whatever. All right, once they tell you, hey, this is the new thing that's coming out, you better invest now. You better take your money now because this is where we're going. You're gonna have droves of people jumping into these things, man. All right. It says the new digital currency, as proposed by the Treasury Department, could help preserve the U.S. global financial leadership in support of effectiveness of sanctions, the White House said on a statement on Friday, again going into problem, reaction, solution. Well, there's also a mirror article to this one about how the Russian digital currency, Chinese digital currency coming up, and how, with the sanctions that's on Russia, they have these back doors where they can still move. All right. So, hey, how about in these times where it's like, well, how I say, the devaluation of the American dollar and things like that. All right, you don't want to sit there and be having $1 million in your bank account, then all of a sudden it's worth nothing. You might as well go ahead and put this here into this here digital currency where it'll be a global currency where everybody sits here and these prices aren't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not an overprinting. We can't create no more coins of this and that. And they have a lot of these. If you understand anything about these crypto coins and everything else like that, they have some that's like that. It's like, well, we've got you can't mine anymore. It's a certain amount of them, and as they start burning certain of these coins, the values go up and everything else like that. So hey, man, they have all these different perks and everything else like that, and especially like a lot of this newer generation. All right, they're heavily into these things already, man. And you go back to your boy Hitler, and he found out, hey, if you train the children, all right, it's easier just to brainwash the damn children than trying to brainwash a whole society. I.e., look at what they're doing with the Mo community right now, man. They've been teaching them damn kids in school about this here situation and everything else like that. And as they starting to grow up, they brainwash and force their parents, all right, the TV shows and things like that. Now, when they get older, all right, and they go off into society, they go to college, they learn about these things. Now they go off into society, they get these damn jobs. All right, they become the lawmakers, the politicians, the teachers, and everything else like that, man. All right, they got this thing on YouTube. It's called was a spinoff of TikTok, but I think they got what's it called? Libs of TikTok or something like that. Some crazy mess like that. But nevertheless, it just shows a bunch of this wickedness that's going on. But you see, it's the younger generation is growing up and talking about all kind of weird different things and ideologies. But hey, these are the people, man. They didn't train these people up. So you got a whole generation of kids now that's knowing about Cash App, all right, cryptocurrency, sending money back and forth. Man, you got some kids that don't know what the hell a bank account is, but let alone they know what what you call it, Cash App and everything else is like that, man. All right, cryptocurrencies and things like that, man. All right, I was watching this little video. They was asking high schoolers how much money they have in the bank account. One person was like, man, I got about like some like a couple $100,000 worth of cryptos. And I was like, damn, but they was, hey, that's the new little hip thing that they into. So hey, they already predictive programming these folks to be into these things. All right, and so all they got to do is just like with the old folks, man. Hey, if you ain't want to be on this, move on over, man. Look at how you see a lot of these folks now that's making this money off of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all these different things where, people my age and older, it's like, yo, we still out here going to go get conventional jobs while you got these YouTubers on the internet making hundreds of thousands of dollars making YouTube videos. And, as our generation, we would look at the kids like, boy, y'all better get off that damn computer. Y'all ain't making no damn money. But, hey, they brainwash the youth to get into these things, and this is the new wave. And now we look all, hey, man, look, that old way ain't really cutting it, man. I don't know why y'all working y'all whole life. I made more money than you in your whole life off of these YouTube videos, man. But, hey, this is how they get these folks to do it with predictive programming. So just understand that this is the path that we're on, all right? It says It says it could also make the U.S. payment system more environmentally sustainable and promote financial inclusion and equity, according to the statement. And environmentally sustainable. That's a trick word, a buzzword that they use. All right, for what's it called? This uh, there's a term for it, sustainable cities, but there's another term for it as well too. But you look up sustainable cities and everything else like that going into Agenda 2030, you'll understand about this whole B system, all right, and what they're trying to get everybody on. These are buzzwords, but on layman's term, environmentally stable. All right, you have to understand why electric grids is going down, because everybody got these damn crypto miners and everything else like that. Is really not that much more better. But again, this is what they're trying to go into. All right, this is right now some aspects of our current payment systems are too slow, too expensive, Yellen told reporters. She added that the advanced work on U.S. central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, should go forward now in case one is determined to be the national interest. All right, and again, this is all a planned situation, because talking about how expensive this is and everything else, and how slow it is. Again, when they try to send out money, well, we can't directly get money to where the people need right when they need to get it and everything else like that, and trying to send people money back and everything else like that. But then also expensive, because they have to keep just printing money and everything else like that. And in reality, the printing of all this here money, not really saying the physical printing of money and like the paper and everything costs money, because actually they just type in digits on a computer and it pops up like that. But the constant printing of this here money is backed by interest. So the more money that they sit there and print, the more it's in interest. And the more, like for instance, they send this money over to Ukraine. All right, and they got this interest all over it, but then they so-called sent weapons to Ukraine, but then now their weapons aren't accountable for it. They don't know where the hell the weapons are at, so they can't really track all these things. So in that sense of printing all this here money is becoming expensive for them. So their idea is we can better track all these things, all right, and see where these things are going. All right, this is unlike existing digital money, such as commercial bank deposits held on consumers and businesses. The CBDC will be a direct liability of the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank. It would be a digital form of sovereign U.S. currency and would be convertible on a one-for-one basis to paper dollars or reserve balances, the Treasury Department has said. However, as the administration noted, there could be unintended consequences of a U.S. CBDC, including runs on crypto dollars during times of stress. The White House urged the Federal Reserve to continue its research on the potential digital dollar, said the Treasury Department, will lead to an integracy working group to study the implications of such a tool. The Federal Reserve has suggested that it would take years to design and launch a CBDC that even with the existence of a public token, there will likely to be room for private groups to operate dollar-pegged cryptocurrencies, in which they have those as well too. But hey, even forgot what there was a something like that was recently when the cryptocurrencies wound up failing. There was one that was pegged to the dollar and everything else like that. There was what they call like stable coins, all right, that pretty much wound up people losing money, because hey, like for every I can't explain exactly how it works, but for every one that they wound up they try to keep the dollar close to one for one. So one of these coins, $1 in these coins is $1 to American dollars. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, as these dollars fluctuate and everything else like that, the crypto markets fluctuate. There's a offset. It says the Treasury Department proposal came in response to Biden's executive order last March, calling on Federal Reserve agencies to submit recommendations for ensuring possible responsible development of digital assets. Based on the agency's report of administration, increased regulations on digital assets, such as imposing common sense efficiency standards on cryptocurrency mining, crackdown on unfair, deceptive, and abusive practices. And so again, problem, reaction, solution. You have the situation with Dogecoin and Elon Musk and everything else like that, and all these people that was out there hurt how they was like, oh, this is gonna make us all rich and everything. But by the time you found out about it, you know what I'm saying, and old boy was going on SNL, hey, everybody wound up selling all their stuff, man. But everybody else that was holding on to their money, they wound up losing out big time, man. And this is where these people they go into panic mode, cry mode. Oh, well, this is supposed to do this is supposed to do that, and we done lost all of our money. In fact, somebody was suing for the loss of money and everything else like that. But hey, the government's like, well, look, y'all can try our coin. We know that our coin is backed by the government, is backed by this, is backed by that. You don't have to worry about these things. And hey, we'll give you some type of perk with these things. But nevertheless, these are the road that America is going down, man. This is the path that America is taking. So hey, it should be no surprise to anybody where things are heading. All right, this is Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right, and how much more have we been going in over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where people say, hey, you guys sound like a broken record. You guys are, or we known for always speaking about the MOTB, man. All right, we're known for just always, why y'all always talking about that? Why y'all always bringing this up? Oh, y'all believe that the MOTB is that their chip. So we're known for this, man. All right, people know us, and the people that learn from under the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down, even the groups that, spin off from that, they know us about, oh, y'all must, this is what y'all think, you know what I'm saying? So, and this is one of the so-called call signs of what we teach. All right, so they know about these things, right? It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, and that's another thing, whereas people know about these, if you've been watching Israel, all right, for a while, you know what I'm saying, you'll understand some of the differences between some of these groups. You would understand, like IUIC them, and their belief on the chip and everything else like that, versus GMS. You should be seeing these folks as like, well, look, we know that IUIC and all these other groups, this how they feel about, this here chip and everything else like that. So look, how come there's no outcry about these things, man? How come there's no a big how do I say uproar of the people when it comes to these here topics, man? All right, but hey, pride is a hell of a drug, but at the end all be all, let me finish reading. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So hey, you can keep that pride up all that you want, but at the end all be all, man, you wind up taking this here chip. All right, let's go ahead and grab that real quick. In fact, I'll read this first and then go back. Revelation 14:9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. All right, and you also got your boy, what's his name, Elon Musk, working on what they call a Neuralink. All right, you also have this, let's look at this here word real quick. You also have this company that all right, so you look at this here word for forehead, the space between the eyes or the forehead, right? Now let's go look at the root word to this, all right, meta. All right, now there's a big major company that's got their hand in everybody's business, and we know about this here company, man. All right, we're not gonna, and they officially changed their name from what it was into this here name right here. All right, so we see, and look, they got their hands in creation of a digital currency, virtual reality situations, and everything else like that, man. Creating this here new, what they say, like a metaverse. All right, so hey, this new world order, man. You see all these things coming together. Man, it's not a coincidence that all these things were sitting here beforehand, man. It's not a coincidence. So what do you think that these so-called, the people that we call wicked people, they just playing us for a fool? They're like, what would be funny if we sit here and just make this here stuff up? We hear what they saying. Let's just put it in their face and just name it that, just because, so on and so forth. No, man, this is just what it is. The Most High prophesied, or the Most High spoke to prophets and had them write down and how do I say, write the vision. How does the scripture say? And said 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 1. All right, roughly paraphrasing, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, more or less to say, write the vision and cause it to be written in paper. All right, because these words are faithful and true. All right, and then he had prophets in the last days, the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets to his servants, the prophets. All right, so now the prophets have come out and wrote down the vision, or the vision was already written down, but hey, we go over these visions, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, man. So now you don't have no excuse for any of these things, man. All right, we've gone into all these words and everything else like that. But continuing on, it says, the same shall drink of the, let me go up, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And so, hey, this is, the punishment for taking this here MOTB. All right, now let's just go ahead and close out by reading this in Revelation 13 and 16. All right, just in case this is your first time hearing these things, man. All right, which, again, hey, this is that same old song we've been singing, Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all. All right, and going into these things, we see how these systems are all being set up. Like I said, that authentication token. All right, you couldn't, they had a situation that happened here a couple years back where you couldn't go inside the stores unless you had your Scooby Doo mask on, man. All right, you had to have the thing on your face, man. To go inside a lot of these different stores, they didn't give a damn how much money you had, man. All right, certain places they was like, yo, we need to, check your biometric scanners and things like that, man. All right, you got to have your blue verification mark to be able to do certain things, man. All right, now how much more? We've already seen, like I said, certain places where physical money isn't accepted in certain places, so you have to transfer into their so-called token. Some car washes are like that, some arcades are like that. I remember that from growing up. Hell, even I'll use this example sometimes. Like, you can't go to Amazon.com and just slide a $20 bill or $100 bill inside your phone and make it work, man. You got to go into a digital currency with that, man. All right, so hey, you have to use this by way of debit card, gift card, and things like that. So how much more? Most Americans are already used to these, especially the youth with their Cash App. They want a Cash App on everything. They try to buy some shit. Like, hey man, I can't Cash App y'all this, I can't Cash App y'all that. And a lot of these companies now have apps to where you can just pay on the app, man. All right, I seen some shit the other day where they was talking about the McDonald's. I think McDonald's got an app like that, man. You just pull up, you in a lot of these fast food restaurants, you pull up and you just take care of everything on the app, man. All right, you don't have to get them no money. They don't have to give you no money back. Everything is all digital. So just think about it. The youth is all used to this here technology and things like that. So to them, it's not nothing foreign. But for us, older folks, we understand what it was like beforehand. Using cash and everything else like that. But this is the new change that they're going to. Verse Revelation 13 and 16, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to make no transactions go through unless you have this. All right, and as you go into how they're trying to go into these new currencies and things like that, it's going to be the only thing that's going to be acceptable, man. All right, it says, and here's wisdom: let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 threescore and six. All right, so hey man, the prophets have told you and warned you about these things, man. All right, so hey, when you see these things coming, you already know what the punishment is for these things, man. But hey, you still gonna have some folks, the blonded folks is gonna be out there when these things come past. Oh, this is the new. We gotta jump on this. Boy, if you ain't getting this, you ain't getting no money. Just like how them folks was jumping on them PPP loans and everything else like that. Well, you dumb if you don't get your PPP loan, and then look, lo and behold, they all got that sour face right now, ducking the feds and everything else like that. But hey, the next time you're gonna be trying to duck a damn missile, and the Most High don't miss when he send forth the missiles. So hey, man, you've been warned about these things. So hey, it's a hard time to wake out of sleep, man, and be sober, man. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth and every will. And salutation, much love to you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.